A new update for Alex's Caves just dropped, called Stuff Torpedoes. This update expands a bit more on each cave except for the Forlorn Hollows. But before I get into this update showcase, if you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to hit 10k by the end of 2024 and we're already so close. For the first feature, we're gonna have to go back to the Eruption update. After you kill the Lux, it'll drop a plethora of tectonic shards, which you can now use to craft tectonic plate armor. When worn, it adds a bit more resistance than netherite armor, but it also slows you down because of how heavy it truly is. It also adds fire resistance, and when you walk near items like raw iron on the ground, they will heat up and smelt into ingots. Next, we have all the magnetic caves features that were added. First, we have the magnetic helm, which can attract or repel arrows and entities with iron in their possession, either with armor or tools. You can also add an enchantment called Universal Magnetism, which affects your helmet's ability with every entity, even without iron. You can also hang under a ceiling of iron blocks with your head. Next up, we have the first line boots, which allows you to bounce on any type of block. When bouncing on iron though, your speed will increase. Then we have the whole Scarlet and Azure Neodymium toolset. Azure will have a default knockback 3 effect, and Scarlet will attract. They also have a durability of 1000. Next, we have a pocket magnet, which will attract items in front of you, but will repel items behind you. And Universal Magnetism can also be added to this item. Then we have the Pulsar gun, which is basically the wind charge for 1.21. Its projectiles will only deal damage when striking an entity, and when it doesn't strike, it will send a shockwave. Be careful though, because if you fire these projectiles at any redstone contraption, they may be destroyed. We're nearing the end with a new entity called the Polaris, which is a new companion. You can summon him like a golem, with energized Galena and a carved pumpkin. I'm not kidding when I'm saying this, but its use is to kick it around like a ball. Though when you kick him too hard, you can always heal him with a neodymium ingot. There's also a new block called the magnetic display, which you can use as a, well, some sort of item frame. And we also have a new music disc. And finally, the last feature for this update. Torpedoes, which you can launch from a submarine, coming in 3 variants. The default one that does a vanilla explosion, the nuclear one that does an explosion similar to the one of a nucleaper, and Pulsar Torpedoes, which causes an electromagnetic explosion that repels any entity and destroys all redstone systems within a radius of 2 chunks. Now, I think it's quite obvious this was an April Fool's video, but what you saw wasn't fake. Sure, it wasn't an Alex's Caves update, it was actually an add-on made by the creator who also made Sons of Sins, Friends and Foes, and the Star-Lord dungeons. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one, where I'll cover the Dweller abominations.